Welcome back. We're just getting here some stuff together, but I want to talk about this awesome spring so far. Gonna do a little bit of a recap. I think I'm gonna start doing more of these kind of recaps instead of doing full videos. I appreciate everybody watching them, but to watch somebody fish, maybe not as exciting as it used to be. Still do tournaments and some of the other good events and outings and other stuff that I do, but we're getting here ready for fishing openers finally coming about. What a crazy spring so far. That probably been out fishing 14-ish times already this year. Crappies, bass. It's been phenomenal. Water temperature's still cold. Even yesterday me and Denny got out. We ended up getting a limit. Crappies looked like this. But it's just crazy to think that the water temp was still only 47 where we're at, and then been fishing for quite a while now. So the crappies were actually pretty lethargic yesterday, but there's a bunch that had moved out from where they were. You know, when there was a warm day last week where you could see all these fish that had moved up, bass moving up. Saw 2 muskies. This day actually muskie tried to grab crappie at Denny's. But crazy to think for how long the water's been open that the fish are still that far behind. And so we're just getting the boat together. Check this out. Boat's all tore up, as with anything. Boats, there's always something going wrong. It's an old one. You can see we got nothing there. So we just brought this in. Our buddy Joe got this together. Check it out. He just welded this baby. Did a super good job, painted it up, and we'll be ready for we'll be ready to put that back on here like real soon. So he did a fantastic job with that, getting that together. After all the years of cranking stuff on there, a bunch of things had happened, the welds cracked and stuff like that. You can see stuff all over the boat. It's actually a pretty easy fix yesterday. Joe did a heck of a job, so we got that together, but we're getting ready. We're getting ready for fishing. So far the boat's run well. Bass fishing, wow, what a spring. I got a video coming up. I got my personal best a couple weekends ago. Check this out. $6.90. Wow! That video is going to be coming out real soon. Can't wait. Caught a bunch of crappies. Rick and I did. Crappie master. Crappies. And then I went bass fishing, and I'll go over some baits here. I caught all these smallmouth. Oh yeah. Through the middle of this freak rainstorm this spring. What the heck? What a weird spring, but we got ourselves a good one. That one came off. Starting to doubt myself once again. We're just going down a bank. That one must have followed it out from the bank and smashed that red crankbait. We went back to the color we were using the other day. Nice fatty though, huh? Another giant. Jeez, that's a big one. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Another giant. Daddy. Not a 5, but look how big that one is. Awesome, dude. Chowing. They are chowing. That is freaking cool, man. Freaking cool. Same spot. They're just wrenching on them right here. Wow, that's a fatty too again. Look at this. Oh yeah, big one. Snaked it. Snaked. We freaking got this one in the belly. Apparently that's what you gotta do. This is gonna be difficult. Snake in the belly. God, it's a big one though. God, that's a big one. Look, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this one like that. See if we can get it in the belly. Wow. Gosh, that's a big one. Oh, come on, baby. Come on. Barely. Come on. Come on. What a struggle this is. Gosh. Right in the dorsal. See that? That's all that it had on there. Just in that little bit of the fin. Wow, that's a big one. We're gonna have to put a weight on that one. Man, look at that one. That's a big one. That was a phenomenal day. I got that real big one, just under 5, cranking. And so, what a spring to be out that much here in Minnesota, Midwest. You just don't get a lot of that time, so pretty cool. I'll show you some of the baits next. Crappies have been on. I wouldn't say that it's like what people think about, where it's just like complete chaos up shallow. Not quite yet, but they move all the time. And crazy that crappies that were out deep can move. Like the ones that me and Denny were catching, fish had moved out to the break and they weren't up shallow anymore, up in the weeds and all this other stuff like they normally would be. So just that little bit of a change. It's funny, crappies can just do that little bit of a change and you just got to stay with them, especially during this time. We don't get to see it all the time up in the Midwest, watching these crappies change, watching bass change, pre-spawners. But it's good times. It's good times to get out. It's been therapeutic for me with work and everything to be able to go out. So we'll show you next some of the baits that I've been using. So like I said, I think I'm going to do this a little more often. Just like this weekly recap. Ooh, the boat's super bouncy without it tied down. I never thought about that one, but I'm going to do this recap a little bit more about the week, how things went. Gonna open up the rod locker and show you kind of what's been working for me here the last little bit. It's been an absolute blast this last couple of weeks. Actually, it's been like a month or so. We've got out quite a bit. Crappies, nothing super fancy. We've just been using, 7/6 medium light rod, bobber, just a bubble, just a little tiny little hook, little plastic. That's my go-to color out on these natural lakes. That little guy, it's been a super good color, that little shad shape. Just using the adjust-a-bubble to cast it out there. You put a little water in there and you can cast that thing out. It's been fantastic for crappies. Deep and shallow. I've been setting it, where's the bobber? It's like about a 4-foot setup right now for where I was at, and when they get real negative, you definitely have to make that a lot longer of a leader for those crappies. They just don't want to come up for it as much, or else they're in deeper water. And I've been running that longer lead. Being real patient for them has been a real key this spring for crappies. Digging through the rod locker. That day that I busted them up on smallies like this, it's just using that Fritz side, casting way up shallow, cranking it across some rocks, some really shallow ones. A couple times I've wanted to do some different things on that lake, and I had to clear my mind, get away from preconceived notion, the live scope and everything, and I just went up shallow, cranking, staging fish out on some rocks and stuff. And they were just on that wind. Definitely a huge thing to deal with it, but making multiple casts using that color cranking rod. This is a 7-footer. It's partially glass. That has worked for those smallmouth on the lake I was at. Pre-spawners. The water is only like 50 degrees still yet. I think the water around here's been about a month and a half so far that you've been able to fish, which is crazy. And then see if I can find this other jerkbait that I've been using. Let's see. Where is that thing? There it is. Not that one. Here's been the other big one I've been using. It's a deeper diving jerkbait. I'm gonna show it in my PB video here coming up soon. Look at that thing. That thing's absolutely been chewed. This is a deep diver from Strike King on a 6 medium rod. Even with that almost 7-pounder, like it still did it real well. It kept the hooks in, I thought. This is the Strike King. It's a deep diver. Hooks on it are actually really, really sharp. It's a little bit chewed up, but man, so funny with that live scope that you got to see fish react, how slow they go. When I adjusted when I caught those big fish that day, and I went to this, slowing it down, watching it on live scope, that you can just see however many fish don't come all the way up for chatterbait. So I wasn't 100% live scoping, but it gave me the idea. It showed me what was going on underneath the water to change what I was doing to go to a slower retrieve. In fact, I was going more slow with this than I normally would most of the time, than I would normally my preconceived notions of what I've done in the past. So that live scope was very intimate. Catching the walleye definitely was like all live scope. I watched it just sit there and follow it, and I sped up that retrieve and it came up and grabbed it. That's been a huge part of bass fishing. Chatterbait up shallow, but those little males are the ones that come up shallow, and to get the big females, you got to do something different. They're out there staging. But what a spring! Been out to get out a whole bunch. I got to explore some new lakes. It's an awesome part. It's an awesome part to get a chance for like these fish that we don't get for all the time in the Midwest. So, if you got any questions, I think I'm gonna keep doing this instead of putting out as many full edited videos just about what's going on, how fishing's been. You're welcome to ask questions. I'm pretty honest about everything that I do. And so just let me know. Appreciate everybody that watches, takes time, comments. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.